Hey Canucks fans, welcome to Clay's Canucks commentary for Tuesday, October the 16th. I'm Clay Emo at Canuck Clay on Twitter. I'm at Clayton Emo on Instagram. And this is my Canucks take, all in one take. Recording this video on the go today as I have an early morning work meeting. Tonight, the Vancouver Canucks, they go back to work. They take on the Pittsburgh Penguins in Pittsburgh. It is game number 5 of their 6-game road trip. Canucks are 2-2 on this road trip, 3-2 on the season overall. Of course, the big story will always be, at least for the next 2 or 3 weeks, the injury to Elias Pettersson. I did a quick video. I did 2 videos yesterday, but the quick one in the middle of the day outlining Mike Matheson's suspension. 2 games. Most people said it's either fair or not enough. Obviously, no one has said that it was too much. I think a lot of people wanted 2 or 3. Some even wanted 5 games or more. But as I mentioned yesterday, I would love 3, but with 2, I'm okay with it. I wouldn't say I'm satisfied with it, but I'm okay with it. I understand the reasoning as I outlined yesterday. And I guess there's always going to be 2 things about this. Well, there's a lot of layers to this story, but the 2 things that are getting a lot of play still are the Canuck players and coach lack of response to the hit. But I think I've outlined that in a couple of videos now. And today I want to talk very quickly about the reaction around the league to the news of the suspension. And you had a lot of analysts and a lot of ex-players, analysts like Pierre LeBrun, ex-players like Daniel Carcillo. I'm saying, yeah, that this was a dangerous play. 2 games is warranted or even more. And, it's interesting to hear both comments, or both sides, I should say, both from hockey analysts and from guys who have played. Then you have this big contingent, big population of analysts and ex-players that are almost making light of the fact that Pettersson is light, almost saying that it's not Matheson's fault that Pettersson is so small, and it's ridiculous. And I get that I might become, I've said this before, I might sound a little biased because obviously, number 1, the Canucks are my team, and number 2, I love Pettersson, so I'm going to be biased. I'm going to be unobjective a little bit, but still, as I mentioned before, if this was Johnny Gaudette, who's about the same size, if this happened to him, I wouldn't be saying, oh, it's Johnny Gaudreau's fault that he's so light. He almost deserves this because he's so small or he's too young or whatever. So it's ridiculous. So a guy like Eric Francis out of Calgary making a contest for name the move that Matheson used on Pettersson. He later apologized. It's ridiculous. Guys like Jason Strudwick saying, this shouldn't be a penalty. Guys like Jeff O'Neill saying this shouldn't be a penalty. Yeah, I get that I'm a little biased. I've never played the game. I don't know what it's like to be out there at such a high level. But I do know that I think human health and someone's brain is even more important than looking tough or acting tough on the ice. And, a lot of the guys, I'd say most of the players, the majority of the players, we haven't heard from a lot of them, but the majority of players today would indeed say that was a penalty, that was a suspendable offense, and obviously concerned for Pettersson, and not making a lot of jokes or cracks or comments about his weight. It's kind of like the ex-players, the tough guys, so to speak, the guys that paid their dues and the guys that are long gone from the game. They're the ones that seem to be chirping a lot. So, it is what it is, so to speak. I don't like it. I don't think it's important, and I don't think it's relevant, quite frankly. So I'll get off my soapbox and I'll talk about something else. Let's talk about the lines for tonight. With Pettersson's injury, everything gets shifted around. Adam Gaudette got called up. So this is what we're looking like, and this is at least what the practice lines were yesterday. And Travis Green has confirmed. He didn't go through all his lines, of course, he never does, but he did confirm that indeed Granlund is playing in the middle. So this is what I think, according to the practice lines, this is how the Canucks are going to line up today. You have Sven Berchi moving up to the top line, so it's him and Brock Besser flanking Bo Horvat on the top line. Oh, it's a little sunny there. Then on the second line now, with Pettersson out, you have Adam Gaudette sliding in. So it'll be Gaudette with Goudobin and Eriksson. The third line becomes Sutter, Virtanen, and Roussel. So Roussel is going to play on the third line. I think it was a little ambitious to start him on the top line last game, but maybe that was Travis Green's way of saying welcome back. So again, the third line is Sutter, Virtanen, and Roussel. And the fourth line, Marcus Granlund, I've talked about his his flexibility, his adaptability, his versatility. That's the word I'm looking for. His versatility before. So Granlund will be in the middle of Tim Schaller and Tyler Mott. That means Brendan Leipzig is the odd man out once again. So once again, that's Horvat between Besser and Berchi. That is Gaudette between Eriksson and Goudobin, Sutter, Virtanen, and Roussel, and then Marcus Granlund, Schaller, and Tyler Mott, Brendan Leipzig on the outside. Small change in D. Tanev and Edler stay together. Of course, they've been playing very well. And then now you have Stetcher and Pouliot playing together, and Hutton playing with Eric Goodbranson. So that Hutton-Goodbranson pairing is one that they tried with limited success. Not a lot of success last year, but they're going back to it, and they're putting Stetcher and Pouliot together on one pair, and then Tanev on the other. And that means Michael Del Zotto sits out for a 4th straight game. So that'll be interesting to monitor as we go. And Anders Nilsson starting again. Why not? They're, yes, they're on the road and they've traveled a bit, but it's not a lot of travel. Went Tampa to Florida, up the coast to Pittsburgh. It's been actually 2 days between the last game, so it's not. They've had an extra day's rest, and Anders Nilsson's undefeated. He's looked strong in the 2 Florida wins in the state of Florida over Tampa, Florida. So why not give him a start again until he either falters or shows that he's tired. So I'm looking forward to tonight's game. I'll be able to see some of it, not all of it. But then, of course, I'll come in with a recap likely tomorrow morning. And as I mentioned yesterday, I've announced my next live stream date, my post-game live stream. That'll be not tonight, but the next game when they finish off the road trip in Winnipeg. So I'll come on YouTube for about half an hour to 45 minutes at the conclusion of the Vancouver Canucks Winnipeg Jets game. But let's talk about today. Talk about Pettersson. Today, you can still talk about his team's, his teammates' lack of pushback. You can talk about Travis Green's comments, or you can talk about the comments from other people throughout the league that I talked about, analysts and ex-players. Also, what do you think of the lines tonight? What do you expect from Adam Gaudette? What do you expect from Marcus Granlund in the middle? And what do you think of Anders Nilsson starting one more time? Leave a comment below. I'd love to read, react, and reply. As always, perfect timing. I'm pulling in my office. Leave a comment below. Subscribe to this channel. If you haven't done so already, give this video a like if you like what I'm doing on this channel. Enjoy the game. Our first game without Elias Pettersson. I'm not too hopeful, but we will see how it goes. It's too bad. I would love to see a Pettersson-Crosby showdown tonight, but we have to wait until Pittsburgh comes to Vancouver. All right, have a great day. God bless. Go Canucks, go.